My name's Michelle, and I'm looking for a friend. Nothing weird, nothing romantic, just a friend. I like video games and writing, and I tend to make impulsive decisions that change my life, like moving to Singapore. It's June 2019, and I'm jet-lagged and tired and just off a flight for my first ever time in Singapore. Heart heavy because I'm missing someone, because missing someone you love is not like missing a friend, it's like a crater that he left behind when he departed because I stupidly decided to fall in love with him, knowing full well he was moving halfway across the bloody world. Crying, I call a moving company and ask them how much it will cost to move 3 boxes and a TV to Singapore. He says it will cost £250, and I ask if he'll come in 2 weeks. Then I call my boyfriend and tell him I'm moving to Singapore. Then I Google how to get a visa to stay in Singapore. So the next few weeks whiz by, and I'm working odd jobs in chip shops and closing bank accounts, and the most important thing, saying goodbye to friends. Drinking warm beer in beer gardens beneath sunsets and stars, best friends forever, trying to get my overly worried, and rightly so, best friend Frankie to believe that I'll be okay. She says, I still think you're crazy for moving to Asia for a guy you've dated for less than 6 months, but okay, I love you. I love you too. So I finally have that big romantic rendezvous at the airport, and we're hugging and crying and kissing, and I spend my next few weeks in a whirl of romance and happiness, abandoning my phone and responsibilities to make up time lost with my loved one after spending more time apart than together. So school starts, and I'm convinced I've already got this living in Singapore thing down. Rule number 1, always bring an umbrella wherever you go. This isn't like pansy-ass London rain, this is like a monsoon rain, and I learned that the hard way. And sure, there's differences here, like rush hour in London is like the 76th Hunger Games, and rush hour here, people actually queue up, and being indoors is like being in a freezer, but then being outdoors makes you want to rip your skin off, and moving to Asia after spending my whole life being the Asian girl, I'll blend right in. No, I'm as Angmo as they come, so I'm convinced making friends will be easy, but it's not. Wistfully watching school kids on the MRT, so blissfully unaware of the trials and tribulations of forming adult friendships, social anxiety courses through my veins, lumps in throats form when I'm picked to speak on in front of the class, but ironically, never at open mics, and replaying every conversation I've had in my head again and again and again, and hot white adrenaline courses through my veins whenever I go to class. The stress and pressure of making friends builds up, and I just shut down completely. And the depression is as intrusive as love. It's all-encompassing, overwhelming, and the only thing on my mind. The reality of moving away from London starts to sink in, and I realize that all I will ever remain to be is a figment of my friend's imagination, in my friends' minds, where the only proof I ever existed lies within Facebook milestone events, sandwiched between memes and baby shower pictures scrolled over in a second. I am a ghost in a world that only knows you're alive through carefully curated Instagram stories. Tired and frustrated with myself, one wrong scroll on Instagram, seeing my friends together makes me miserable in the sun. Why do I have FOMO over the life I used to run away from? So my best friends ask, how is Singapore? And I lie. I lie, and I avoid the chances to FaceTime with them, to actually be real with them, because I can't bring myself to say that my grand exit wasn't all that grand, and continue to post pictures of pool parties, and Marina Bay Sands, and chicken rice, and Marina Bay Sands, and spend countless hours crying and moping and crying some more, until one day, I decide to call Frankie. Hey, how are you? I miss you so much. You know, I'm fine, work, school, drama school applications, work. How's Singapore? The million-dollar question. I try to bring myself to lie, but I just can't. You know what? I'm actually having a really shit time. And just like that, the creation of my artificially perfect life is broken down. And I'm mad at myself for having so much pride that I couldn't even tell my best friend in the whole world, my best friend who's seen me in every state possible, from blackout drunk to fucking over the moon. I couldn't even tell her. So after countless hours of crying and venting, she says, Michelle, you are the strongest person I know. You're going to get through this. You need to actually try. You need to actually put yourself out there. And are you still writing? You need to go to some open mics, some readings, feel like you again. And after hours and hours of gossip and catch up and talking, we say our goodbyes. I love you. I love you too, but never leave it this long again. I promise. I won't. So, here I am behind a microphone. Does anyone else want to be my friend?